Hey folks, Shawn Plummer over at the Annuity Expert. In today's video, I want to talk about the financial fundamentals of retirement planning. The whole goal of this video is to really talk about what are the foundations when you're trying to prepare financially to transition into retirement. It's a lot easier than you think. It's just a matter of having somebody help you do the timing on everything, but really comes down to when's the best time for you to take Social Security. That's obvious. You can take it as early as 62. You take it as far as 70 before they cut you off. 67 is the full retirement age. If you're not a high net worth individual and you're looking to time things out and line it up, maximizing it really just comes down to like when is it good for you. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. My folks use annuities as a big part of their retirement. They lost their retirement savings in the 2008-2009 crash when they owned real estate, so we had to basically time out Social Security. My mom had to be 70, and my stepfather had to be 66 and a half to start their Social Security. And we had found some old pensions, small pensions from the 70s and 80s and 90s. We were able to piece them together to start income at 60, stepdad being 66 and a half, mom being age 70, layered on top of their Social Security. And then they sold their house and used a good chunk of their proceeds on top of that. And by them following that plan, they were able to take nothing and get between $7,000 and $8,000 a month in income in retirement. And now they're traveling the world, pet sitting for people globally, and they're just getting back from Asia this month. But sorry to go into that, but the timing of your Social Security, I don't think it's generic. I don't think it's standard across the board. I think it really just depends on a person's situation. I think if you're a high net worth individual and you can afford to wait. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, start it at 62. If you can be somewhere in the middle of that, wait to age 67, right? Which leads me to the next fundamental is utilizing an annuity. You may read good things, bad things about annuities. I'm telling you here, there is nothing in the United States that does a more efficient job of income distribution in retirement out there. Better than a financial advisor managing your money and doing income distribution. It's better than investments. It's better than keeping it in a savings account. It's better than a CD. It's better than living off interest. It will give you a contractually guaranteed income for the rest of your life, even if the account runs down to zero. And you layer that on top of your Social Security income, and that is your foundation for income. Everything else can be spent the way you want. Now, there's some other things that on this video that I want to talk about that you really need to consider getting. But if you time your Social Security out, along with an annuity with a lifetime income rider. And I'm not talking about the annuities where you give up control over your money. That you should never have to give up control over your savings. I'm talking about the annuities that allow you to keep control of your annuities, earn interest, leave a death benefit, and gives you an income for you or you and your spouse's lifetimes fixed for the rest of those lifetimes. And if an emergency happens and you need to get into that account because your house burned down or you got cancer or dementia, you're able to grab that pool of money, okay? Those type of annuities. So timing it out, the best way to do that is to get your Social Security statement and then see how much it's going to pay you in the best year for you to retire, and then get a free annuity quote from a broker like the Annuity Expert, who has the largest selection of annuities out there. And then time it out. And then there's your retirement age or start date. That's when you start taking your income. And it pays the annuities, by the way, They also can keep up with inflation. They can give you advanced payouts. They pay a higher payout percentage. They're paying anywhere from 7 to 10% payouts for the rest of your life. I mean, come on. You go to a financial advisor, it's going to be 4%, and then they're going to adjust for inflation and charge you a fee for it. It's just, even if you don't believe what I'm telling you on this video, because I'm an annuity broker, just compare the numbers. Get the intel yourself. You are a dummy if you don't at least do that. Okay? So Social Security, number one. Retirement income that supplements what Social Security doesn't cover, annuities. Number three, have life insurance. You don't have to go and spend a ton of money on life insurance. Go get a 20-year term, a 30-year term if you can't afford it. Cover your spouse. You got to imagine, if you die, how is your spouse going to take care of themselves when you're gone? How are they going to do that financially? If you're living paycheck to paycheck, it's kind of difficult for them to pick up the pieces and continue living, okay? Especially when both of you are already retired. Then the other thing to get, Medicare at 65. If you retire before 65, you can always get supplemental health insurance. You can go to ACA, or you can talk to us and we can get you a supplemental. It's called Bridge Health Insurance, which is insurance for folks who are retired between ages 59 and 64. And then you get Medicare. Invest in your Medicare. Don't end up with medical bills. Pay a little extra if you can afford it for health insurance. And then finally, I think the big thing is long-term care insurance. I mean, this is something that's not really, it is a topic that is not talked about enough. And it's one of the most important things that you could get. Okay. This applies to everybody. Okay. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you might be able to get in Medicaid, right? But if you're middle of the road retirement, and you don't have long-term care insurance, and you have to go to a nursing home, by the way, the U.S. government is saying that you have a 70% chance of going into a nursing home or home health care or assisted living. And if you end up in those and you don't have long-term care insurance, your retirement is gone. Your kid's inheritance is gone. It's disgustingly expensive. It's in some states, it's $100,000 plus for a private room in a nursing home, $60,000 a year for assisted living, $50,000 for home health care. You want to get into, a lot of people think Medicare is going to pay for that stuff. They don't pay for that. That's out of your pocket. You want to get Medicaid? Not that easy to get into. You got to go spend money out of pocket at the nursing home or assisted living or home health care until you become destitute. That means you become broke before you can be eligible for your state's Medicaid program. There is long-term care insurance that is not use it or lose it. You're just not being told about it. Yes, there's traditional long-term care insurance, and it is a lot like car insurance, and it does get disgustingly expensive as you get older and in the ages when you can't afford it. A lot of people, they get it when it's expensive but still doable. By the time they're in their late 70s, early 80s, it's double the price and they can't afford it, and they've wasted premiums on long-term care insurance, and now they have to go into a nursing home, and then they got to go down the Medicaid rabbit hole and spend all their life savings, all their kids' inheritance on a nursing home or assisted living. If you're a high net worth individual, I've got two sets of parents. One set of parents are doing pretty good, man. And the advice that they got from their financial advisor was, "Oh, hey, you got enough money, you can self-fund it." And that's the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard in my life. It's like saying, "Hey, you're shopping for a Honda Civic. You've got enough money. One car dealership is selling a Honda Civic for $20,000, and the other dealership is selling the same exact model in the same exact condition for $80,000. And that financial advisor told my parents that because they have enough money, they should go spend $80,000 on a Honda Civic. Now, who would follow that advice? That's the type of bullshit advice that's being put out into the world. If you've got money, it's okay for you to spend a disgustingly amount of money on a nursing home or assisted living or home health care. And that's bad advice. Part of a financial advisor's job is to help you save money and protect your portfolio for future generations. And that was crappy advice. There's long-term care annuities. You don't use it, goes down to your beneficiaries or your surviving spouse. Long-term care life insurance, same deal. You don't use it, it goes down to your beneficiaries or your surviving spouse. You don't use it or lose it. Or excuse me, you don't lose it if you don't use it. You go buy traditional long-term care insurance, yeah, it's car insurance. It's use it or lose it. So if you've got money, if you've got plenty of money saved up, you may not be high net worth, but let's just say got a few $1 million in the bank. You've got all the other foundational retirement planning tools laid down. Go buy long-term care annuity. Go buy a long-term care life insurance. Have that peace of mind. Know that it is going to be spent somewhere within your family versus having to give it all to the state if you get dementia or Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. Once you get Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's, any of these debilitating conditions, too late. It is too late. You start forgetting how to get home, too late. No insurance company is going to touch you. And then you're going to end up taking your hard-earned money and blowing it and giving it to some state-recognized facility or service because you didn't get this insurance. So that is the retirement killer. Get long-term care insurance. And that's it. That's the foundation. Social Security, annuities for your retirement income foundation. And I'm not telling you to put all your money in annuities. I'm telling you, whatever your monthly nut is to pay your expenses and live off of comfortably, whatever Social Security doesn't pay for, use the annuity to fulfill the rest. So for example, let's say you have a $5,000 nut each month in expenses, and Social Security will pay $3,000 a month. Well, you got $2,000 to make up to maintain your lifestyle. Well, buy an annuity that will generate $2,000 on top of that $3,000, and that's your foundation for income. The rest of it, you want to go invest it. Go do what you want with it. Medicare, invest in your health insurance. It's worth it. Long-term care insurance, not spoken about enough. One of the most important things, it will kill your retirement overnight. And if you have a financial advisor that tells you to self-fund, man, I'd pack my bags and run because it's horrible advice. Okay, so those are the things that you need. Oh, and then life insurance. Get life insurance. Make sure your spouse is taken care of financially in case you die prematurely. Just do it. Don't have to get the most expensive. Just get something that you can afford. Just have that safety net there. You get those things done, you're good. You do whatever you want after that. But if you get those things taken care of, you're going to have a comfortable retirement where you don't have to worry about something dramatic happen financially. Okay, hope this helped. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll answer any questions you got, but just be specific, and then we'll catch you on the next video.